Hi, everybody, and welcome to another cardio chat with Tam and I. We
Hello.
uh, we kind of got cut off short last week because we had so much fun talking about all these myths. So I think we'll just kind of get back into that today. So throw on your headphones and head out for a walk, or clean your house, or hop on the bike or the treadmill or whatever you have. Even just walk up and down your stairs for the time that you're listening
Yeah,
to us. Anything can be cardio, really. Um, and we'll try to keep it under 25 minutes. Did you
I
set a
got,
timer?
I just did. It might be a little bit
Okay.
behind, but I did set one.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So I guess we'll go back into those myths that we talked about last week, and I'll throw one your way to
Okay,
start with, Tam.
sure.
Um, Eating too little food will make you gain weight. Go.
Not true. Um, so I get the premise behind this one. So people say, if you're in a calorie deficit all the time, your body's gonna hold on to every little bit of extra that you give it. And your cortisol levels are going to spike up. So you're going to be overweight or you're going to be inflamed, which is actually true. Your cortisol level will make you inflamed. But that's not what's causing you to gain weight. Okay. So if you're just not eating enough, your body's just in a total and complete state of stress. And it's just not healthy. So eating too little food, I mean, you might hold on to extra weight if you have extra weight to hold on to, um, but it's not really true. And in all likelihood, you're actually breaking down muscle to be used as energy, which is also not good. So
Yeah.
this one's not true. Don't eat too little food, um, but also don't assume that you're overweight because you're not eating enough and then start eating more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually it's a
Yeah. It's like this.
what thing.
Yeah. And I mean, like eating too little food, um, yeah, it can have some long-term negative effects on your metabolism. Um, but so can yo-yo dieting, so can fad diets and all that stuff. But it's more of that, it's that long-term damage to metabolism that you're looking at when you do things like that. It's not necessarily going to cause you to gain weight immediately because you're eating too little. It's more so just the damage that you're doing hormonally to your body by eating too little.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
I I could throw a little bit of an analogy in here too, but we're not going to take too long. I could go so in depth into this one, but we're going to keep it like base level right now.
Yeah.
Okay, your
Yeah.
your turn for another myth, Jess. So, myth
Okay.
that you have to exercise every single day.
Okay. False. And actually, you really shouldn't exercise every single day. I mean, should you move your body every single day? Absolutely. Like, there's no harm in um, walking every single day or just leading a more active lifestyle every single day. But in terms of, high calorie burn, high intensity, or, you know, even strengthening for that matter, um, you know, 4 days a week is plenty, and is actually healthy because you need to allow the body periods of rest in between workouts in order to maximize your workouts, actually. Um, and you can actually hurt yourself if you're exercising every day, which is like counterintuitive because if you injure yourself, then you're going to have to be down and out for a long time and you won't be able to exercise at all. So, prioritizing rest and, but those rest days don't necessarily have to be couch potato days either. You can walk, you can do some mobility, some stretching, some light yoga, things like that on your rest days just to keep moving. Um, but definitely not a 7 day a week regime. Um, which, you know, it sounds like nobody would actually do that, but there are people that actually do that. I
Yeah,
see it
but
all the time. I see people that they're like, I hit the gym 7 days a week, and they think that it's this like incredible thing that they're doing. Um, but it's actually bordering on unhealthy when you're exercising that often.
I'm gonna also throw it out there too. Like it kind of depends on where you're at. So like let's say you're a ultra marathon runner, okay? And you're training 5 days a week to get ready for your ultra
Mhm.
marathons, okay? Your rest days might like an ultra marathoner's rest days may be a 5 kilometer jog.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
rest to them. That is a rest to them. So,
Yeah.
for somebody who hits the gym really hard, heavy weights and stuff like that, going to the gym and just doing some like light calisthenics or doing some calisthenics and some lighter weights with a higher rep, that is a rest to them.
Yeah.
So it's all in where you're at and how your body responds to it. So, you know, and if you're doing nothing, let's look at the other end of that too. If you're doing nothing at all in terms of structured exercise or movement, exercise for you is going for a walk.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
okay because we all are at different points. So we have to look at each individual and not as a collective.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make sense? Good.
Yeah. And I think like that that figuring out like what works for you in terms of how many days a week you exercise and how many and what your rest days look like. It's kind of trial and error. And your body will tell you very quickly if you're overdoing it. And you just have to learn to listen to those cues, and not push yourself beyond your body's capabilities.
Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, I got one for you.
Kat,
I think you're excited for this one.
are you sure about this?
Following an influencer, so we're talking social media, following an influencer's paid plan will get you their same results.
I wish you guys could see me rolling my eyes right now. Okay, so I- I'm not gonna come here and harp on influencers or social media because, a lot of what a lot of people are doing are good things, but I am gonna harp on like there's one company and I'm not gonna name it, but they get on there and they're like, you want six pack like this, and they point to their
Yeah,
abs. They're
yeah,
like, then you got to do this, and you like click the link and it takes you to like a $42 ab plan, and
yeah,
I want to gag right now. That's not the way our bodies work. So
yeah,
don't fall for the gimmicks. Honestly, this type of thing is the same premise as a fat loss pill. I mean, at least this isn't necessarily making you unhealthy, but you're going to get really frustrated thinking that a program like this is going to give you exactly what it tells you that it gives, because here's the thing, and I mean, I've done some sales training and marketing training too, and when you look at when you're looking to do marketing, you're telling people what they want. This is how to get what you want. So here's your problem.
hmm
How do you get to it? How do you solve that problem? And so everybody, not everybody, but the people who are buying these types of things are looking at that body, and the marketing says, do you want this? And you're like,
yeah,
yeah, I do. You got to do this. And it's like
yeah,
this cookie cutter program that has nothing to do with your body type, your nutrition, your age,
yeah,
your gender. I mean, sometimes
yep,
they take into account your gender or your age and they like get really niche specific, but it doesn't work that way. Our bodies don't
right.
work that way. And it might work for you. I'm not saying it's not going to. It could, but the likelihood is pretty slim.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I have an example, and again, not naming names. There's an influencer that I follow, and like she has very good stuff. Like she's very focused, and has a very detailed ab plan that is focusing on pelvic floor and deep abdominal muscles, which I'm all for. And the stuff that she puts out like is really good. But the issue that I have is that in order to sell her product, she does that ab check, that I'm talking about, like where the girl stands in front of her phone and lifts up her shirt and shows you her 6-pack abs. And then she's like, this is how I got this. Come join my ab program. And like, it's not that what she's teaching is bad stuff. It's just that she is so misleading in trying to tell you that you're going to look like her if you do her ab program.
Mm-hmm.
You might have stronger abs and stronger pelvic floor, and you might, have, less pee accidents if you do her program. That would be a great way to sell it. But she's a small, low body fat percentage woman that's just genetically built like that, and you might not be. So I think just not falling for those marketing gimmicks is a really big thing, and choosing wisely who you want to follow, because it can get very frustrating for people who continue to do these programs thinking that it's going to get them these results, and then it doesn't work. So
yeah. Okay, last myth that we're going to touch on, and then we have one other topic we want to touch on. So, Jess, sports drinks are the best form of hydration.
Okay, this hydration is so tough. Like, I don't know if you get this too, of your clients. They'll be like, well, I didn't drink very much water today, but here's all the liquids that I drank today. And, teaching people about how certain things are not very good options for hydration is kind of a tough one. Sports drinks, yes, they have electrolytes in them. And the whole premise behind electrolytes is that they are going to help hydrate you better than plain water. The issue with sports drinks is that they are chock full of sugar.
And food coloring.
Yes, and food coloring and dyes. And even if you get the 0-calorie ones, then they're chock full of chemicals to make them taste sweet and yummy for you. So yes, it's going to hydrate you. However, it's also going to just cause a plethora of other health issues if you're drinking those constantly. Literally, the best option for hydration is water. Like, just water.
Can I jump in on the sports drinks too?
Jump in.
The other thing with electrolytes is that if you're doing less than an hour of moderate to high physical intensity activity, you don't need to replenish electrolytes. If you're out there running a 10K race or more, or doing like something extreme, you don't need to replenish electrolytes. And here's where it bugs me the most is when I see kids, they're like, I have a hockey game, so I get a Gatorade. I'm like,
oh yeah.
No, you don't.
No.
Not if you're in my house. You don't need it. Kids particularly don't really need it. They just need water. And marketing, I mean, Gatorade is, oops, I said something I shouldn't have. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Sports drinks
are owned by cola company.
Yeah.
So, like, pay attention to where you're getting your information from. Is the fact that you think you need a sports drink from a commercial you saw on TV that was paid for and advertised by the company that makes it? Or is the information you're getting from a nutritionist who doesn't get paid and just wants you to be healthy because that's their passion in life, right?
So and honestly, like, electrolytes, I mean, aside from the fact that unless you're like pushing extremely hard or you're starting from a place of dehydration, like let's say you had the stomach flu or you drank too much alcohol last night. Okay. But like, all you really need to do is have a little bit of water with maybe some honey and a little bit of sea salt in it. And guess what? You've done the same thing. So you can actually look online if you want, and there are tons of nutritionists that have homemade electrolyte drink recipes that you can, if you really feel like you need that, if you're sick or you're trying to recover from something, you can make your own. And then you avoid all those nasty chemicals, sugars, food colorings, dyes, natural flavor. They call it natural flavors, but it's not, it's flavor. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Just drink water. I mean,
or tea.
I know it.
Or coffee.
Or tea. Yeah.
Drink coffee.
Or, I mean, oddly enough, I read this article the other day about the hydration properties of milk. And I mean, I know that there's other issues aside that we can talk about with milk, but I mean, even like, even your nut milks and stuff like that are actually extremely good hydrators as well. So if you just want to have like a nice little glass of almond milk, that'll do it for you too.
You can have a little bit of milk in your coffee too. Just don't try to limit your sugar that you're adding to your coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you want to drink a few more of them a day and add healthy hydration.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's get on to our last topic. What's our timing here, Tam?
We've got like 10. We've got 9 minutes.
Okay. Perfect.
We're doing pretty good. I think. Good. I hope. So I really wanted to touch on this topic. You maybe heard my excitement just kind of ramp up a bit. So I've had a few clients over the past couple of weeks who have messaged me and been like, I fell off the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and if you're one of my clients, you're going to hear the same thing I said to you. No, you didn't. There's no wagon to fall off of. Okay. You guys didn't just hop on a bandwagon to be healthy. Okay. You're on a journey. And there's no freaking wagon on this journey.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm going to explain it just a little better. So let's say you have a day where you eat a whole bunch of shitty food and you don't exercise and you're like, well, that's it. Throw in the towel. I'm done. I have to start all over again. No, you don't. And I was actually listening to a Mel Robbins podcast that talked about this actually a couple weeks ago, oddly enough, about how and her podcast wasn't on throwing in the towel. It was on goal or habit building. And basically it's, there's science backing what I've always said to people of you didn't fall off the wagon. You just missed the day, like whatever. Each moment is a new moment for you to work towards the path that you want to take. So if you are working towards drinking more water and less pop, I love this example because it's a simple one. If you drink a pop and say, oh, well, I drank a pop. I wasn't supposed to drink a pop. I drank a pop. I might as well have 5.
Yeah.
What? No, just drink water next time again. Just go right back to it. Like, I ate some chocolate. So what? Who cares? Are you trying to be a freaking, I don't know.
Well, I think it's the perfectionist attitude too that a lot of people get when it comes to fitness, and it's like it's so far from that. And you and I both very much preach like a life of balance, and that you can't have wellness without the other sides of it too, without like enjoying your favorite foods or having a rest day where you don't exercise very hard, or listening to your body. But I think like a lot of people have this perfectionist attitude that they're like, well, I need to exercise every day. I need to eat well every day. And if I don't, it just means I've failed. And it's so far from that.
And you know what? It's not your fault that you feel that way. I'm blaming society on this, right?
Yeah.
Blaming society on this and particularly media on this, in that you've been made to believe if you screwed up on something, that's it for you. Think about even think about your schooling experience. I mean, I had courses in university that laid 40% of something on one exam.
Hmm.
right? Like, so if you were sick, had a death in the family, whatever, if you couldn't prove that you couldn't be at that exam, you basically failed the course
Yep.
or messed up your
Yep.
entire future if you were trying to get into further school, right? And
Yep. Yep.
that's society. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be tested and that you shouldn't, I'm not in that cancel culture bullcrap, but we've been conditioned to believe that if we don't do something perfectly, then we did it wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just not the way it's just not the way to live. Like I screw up
No.
all the time. I make mistakes all the time. So do you. Everybody
Yeah.
does. Who fucking cares? Get over it. Move on.
Yeah. Well, and you and I kind of briefly before talked about this too, that there's this premise that it's like, oh, well, I ate bad today, and so my whole day's a write-off. And so I might as well just keep feeding myself the bad food. I might as well skip my workout because I ate something I shouldn't have
I'll start
for
again next Monday.
I'll start again next Monday. I'll start again next month. I'll start again next year. I'll start
Yeah.
again tomorrow. But like who cares if you like if I don't even think pancakes are bad, but I'm gonna throw that idea out there because I don't know. It's just the only like breakfast food I can think of that people might think like, oh, okay, so you eat pancakes for breakfast, and you're like, ah, shit, I ate pancakes for breakfast. I guess I might as well just throw out my salad that I was going to eat for lunch and might as well just go to McDonald's and grab myself a Big Mac. And I'm going to not go to the gym after because I'm going to feel so crappy from all that bad food that I ate that I might as well just skip the gym and I'll just start again tomorrow. I'll try again in the morning. Whereas it's like, okay, no, you had pancakes for breakfast. Now let's just balance it out with something else in your day. Let's choose a healthier option for lunch. Let's go to our gym workout that we had planned or do our workout in the evening we had planned. Like one bad choice doesn't have to throw off the rest of your day. Find a way to balance it out because then it's just living. It's not a bad choice. It's just I had pancakes for breakfast. Moving on. Like it doesn't matter.
You don't have to start over every time you do something that wasn't within your plan.
Hmm.
Okay? You do not have to start over every time you do something not in your plan. If you do
Hmm.
something that wasn't in your plan or that you didn't expect to do or that doesn't move you towards your goal, get over it and continue
Yep.
on. It's just
And
this little blip. This is not a steady state curve here in your life.
yeah.
You get to go up and down and all over the place.
And then let's just touch briefly, Tam, because I'm sure that there's people out there too that they make more than just that one little mistake and it becomes a perpetual I'm now, 1 month, 1 year of not exercising, of not taking care of myself, of not eating well. Um, how do you break that cycle and get back into it? Because at that point, it becomes a matter of feeling like, okay, I got to start all over again. And that's
Mhm.
it's kind of a scary place to be. Um, I mean, I haven't been in it from a perspective of that, I just haven't taken care of myself, but I've been in a perspective of I gave birth to my child and now I've got to get back into taking care of myself after being pregnant. And it was a really hard thing for me to do. And so I can imagine it would be really hard for somebody um, who just hasn't been taking care of themselves for a little while to start again because it would feel like starting all over again.
And it's okay to start over again. And I think there's like a little quote on this or a meme or something somewhere in that you may feel like you're starting new, but you're still starting from a set point of you have the knowledge, you have the desire, and you can do it. Like just do it. Like take the leap. Take a little
Mm-hmm.
step. It doesn't have to be a leap. It can be a little step. If you're starting over again completely, just take a little step. What one thing can you do that you're not doing now to make things better for you? And we are
Yeah.
at 25 minutes, but we're going to finish
Okay.
this little bit up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I think it comes down to a matter of you don't have to wait until you feel like you have it all together to get started. You just have to start. Just start. Just
Just
take a little step.
take a little step. Just like
That's it.
whatever it is. It could be something as simple as getting up 10 minutes earlier in the morning and having a glass of water and washing your face and making your bed before you have
Hmm.
to start into all your other stuff. It could be that simple. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, okay, I'm going to get up an hour early and I'm going to do a workout before I have to start my day.
Yeah.
Does not
Yeah.
have to be that complicated. It can be
Yeah.
simple. And eventually you just kind of start adding on and adding on and adding on as you start to feel better. And
Yeah.
I would say that's the more sustainable way of doing it too. But some people do like big change and some people thrive on big change, but a lot of people don't, and that's okay.
No.
So, just take a little step. We're over our 25 minutes, so we're gonna wrap
Yeah,
it
we
up.
are.
Thank you for joining us. This was kind of our last cardio chat of this Love Yourself campaign, but don't worry because we're going to be back somewhere, somehow, with more for you. And
You can't stop Tam from talking. So
no, I've started enjoying this, so like I might start a podcast or something now. Just don't tell.
yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so stay tuned to our emails, and you'll see what's coming up next for you. And have a fabulous day. Great work. And as always, feel welcome to reach out to any of us, either of us, in the comments, an email, or DM us. And we're happy. Actually, I would be ecstatic to talk
Yeah.
more about any of these topics. I'm sure you would too,
Yeah.
Jess.
Absolutely.
All
Have a
right. Well,
great
that's
day,
it, guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.